Hey everybody, welcome. I'm so excited to have you guys here tonight. We're welcome to with Team BEFIT and Steph Cram and her group. Yay, so pumped to be here, y'all. We've been like, well, that's coming later because first you got to get rocked out by Miss Sarah Kroger. Before she delivers the goods, though, I have two quick announcements I want to share. Number one, Team Cup registration. We were joking for a long time the Team Cup was the kiss of death, but we are reclaiming that. Not true. I don't know if anybody's ever felt that where there's like a contest of Beachbody and you're like, oh no, that means it's going to be a rough month. Not saying that. Reclaiming it, right? So the registration is by the end of this month. So if you haven't done it for both teams, that's up. And then the summit ticket pricing is only $165 right now, and that is until the end of this month. So I just wanted to make those two announcements. I need to be better about that. But the really exciting stuff is what's coming now. So I'm going to hand it over to Sarah and zip it until the end.
Hey, you guys, how's it going? I am so excited to have both teams here tonight. Like, we got to share some amazing time together on retreat, and you guys, like, I cannot say enough how important it is to get in the room. Whatever the room is, whether it's retreat or summit, I'm kidding you not, this price for summit, it will not be this cheap again. Even if they run another promotion, it won't be cheaper than this. Like, this is the time to get your ticket. And they're running a piggyback announcement. They're running some kind of a referral deal. So when you buy your ticket, make sure that you say somebody referred you, like ask on your team who already has their ticket and needs you to be their referral person. And then tell that to the next person too, so that you can all be part of, I think it's a special workout that you get to be part of, but get in the room and get surrounded by people, because it's awesome that we can see each other's faces like this, but we're wired for human connection. And even if you're not a hugger, being in the room with somebody is a powerful thing. But I wanted to tell you guys, it is January 23rd, and it is not too late for goals. And frankly, I was thinking about this earlier today. We're away now from the hype of the massive unsupported wishes that people were just thrusting into the universe at the beginning of January, because now the dust has settled and we can get serious. And we're away from all the hype of all the things that we're supposed to want for our year, and we can focus on those things that have been tugging at your heart that you just can't get rid of, and the things that you're really meant to be working on. And that is a beautiful place to be, because Kelly's right. I was the one who talked about Team Cup being like the kiss of death. And I was thinking, that's what I was thinking about today. And I was like, no, to heck with that. This is the time, because everybody, the dust has settled on the hype. And this is the time. This is the perfect time to get excited about what your year is and to think about what's really been tugging at your heart. So since we have some people that I don't know on the call, my name is Sarah Kroger. I am part of the Team Freedom Family Huddle that was started by Kelly Brown. And I'm excited to talk to you guys a little bit tonight on the importance of building a team and what that even means and what it looks like. But I promise you, this is not like a boring corporate training on rank advancement or whatever. Like, there are plenty of Michael videos on that kind of stuff, and you watch the volume video with the little like toys in it. That's probably the best one out there, I think, about explaining cycling. This is not that, right? If you ever heard me speak before, you know that I get excited about the idea behind it and the passion and what fuels you and why you're doing this rather than the logistics of what you're doing, because there's plenty of people who are better at explaining the logistics than I am. So I am a mom of 6. We live in northeastern Ohio, and I homeschool my kids. I have a small homestead. We have dairy goats and chickens, and in the summer we have other animals that we use for food. And I grow a garden and do all of the things. My husband is in the process of being medically retired from the Army, so we are in a massive transition as a family. And I can tell you personally that 2019 was the hardest year of my adult life, but also the most amazing growth year for me personally and for my team that I've ever experienced. So on paper, I've been a coach for a little over 4 years, but in practice, I've been a coach for not quite a year and a half. About the length of time that my most recent child has been outside of the womb. He's about 16, 17 months old, and I really kicked into coaching when I was in the hospital and he was in the NICU, which sounds like the strangest time to really dive into business. But there was a little bit of what else am I going to do? And there was also a little bit of realizing the importance of what I had to offer and what people were seeing in my story. And I wanted to turn that back to you, because wherever you are in your desire to build this business, whether you're the ultimate challenger who's enjoying your discount in the community, or you're building intentionally and working your way up to a full-time income through Beachbody, and everyone in between, wherever you are in this, you have a team. Even if you are the only one on it right now, even if it doesn't have a name or a mission statement, you have a team. You are a team. Because you said yes to coaching for a reason. Even if you had just a fleeting thought, you had a vision of what you wanted for the future and how coaching was going to help you accomplish that. And it's different for everybody, and I'm not going to tell you what your dream was, because I don't know. I don't know what that vision was in your head, but even if it just lasted for a split second, you had something that flashed before your eyes when you said, all right, let's do this. Something came into your head, and you might have been the only person in your vision. You might have been the only person, and it's your physical progress that you are working through, and that was your vision. Or there might be balloons and bubbles and hundreds of children running around on the stage at Summit, or anywhere in between. You had a thought when you said yes to coaching. What was that? What was it that ran through your head that moment that you said yes? Or any subsequent moment since then? Even if when you started, you were just under the umbrella of your coach's team, what you had now is your spin on your coach's vision. So I told you that Kelly is my coach and her team is Team Freedom. It was her vision that I said yes to, because I didn't have anything yet. I wasn't a coach. I didn't have an idea of a team. I certainly wasn't going to work the business. I was just going to come in and be part of whatever she was going to have to offer. And in all truth, my husband was away at a long training for the military that season, and I was going to have this Biggest Loser transformation when he was gone. He was going to be gone for like 12 weeks. I don't know what I thought was going to happen in 12 weeks, but in my mind, he wasn't even going to recognize me when he came back, right? And then of course, reality sets in, and I was committed to that challenge and I did a great job, but I found out a week after he left that I was pregnant with our 5th child. So that obviously changed the way that my health and fitness journey was going to go, but I still was working out and drinking my Shakeology and doing my things. And when I said yes to coaching, I was just under the umbrella of Kelly's mission. And I didn't even have my own spin on it yet. I was part of Team Freedom, and it was her baby that I was brought into, right? Because that's where it starts. But as I grow in my own journey and as my team grows, her vision gave me freedom to find my belief and my voice. And so if you said yes to Team BEFIT, it was because that's what you wanted for your life. You wanted something that fit was going to meet. And now you're standing under that umbrella to get your footing, and you can have this field of dreams moment because you get to create whatever it is. Your team is birthed from you. Kelly gave a great analogy in our group, and I'm not going to, if you're on our team and you're on our team page, you should go watch her video about it. But if you're not, just the cliff notes is this concept of giving birth. And for those of you who've literally given birth, you know that it's work and it takes time, but there's a clear purpose for it. You're working in labor in a focused way towards something specific. So you need to let yourself have that vision in your mind for your team that can morph and then be inspired by the people that you bring under your umbrella. So my team is the purpose. And that came from my story where I had the freedom to find my belief and my vision. And so it doesn't like separate from Kelly. It's birthed out of that. And then the people who come in under me as part of my team, then their vision comes in, is birthed from that. It's all connected, but it gives them footing to stand on while they develop that vision and that little glimpse that you was there when you said yes, to kind of hold on to that and allow it to ruminate and grow a little bit as you are building and inviting people into what your vision is. So as you find your voice and you find your story, that's when you birth your team and you share that vision with the next person, right? You have found a solution in your life to some problem that you had. What has being a coach given you? How's your life different now than it was before coaching? What's true about you as a person now that wasn't true before? That's what you're offering the next person. That person who is now where you were before. Because you aren't offering someone some perfectly crafted thing. You're reaching back to the person who's one step behind you. And the farther you go, you might be reaching back to the person who's 10 steps behind you. But to begin with, and frankly at every step, you're reaching back to a person who's one step behind you, who's watching and likes what you're doing and wishes that could be part of their life too. So years and years and years ago, my family went on a vacation and we went on a cruise, which I highly recommend. And one of the stops was in Jamaica, and we did climbing the falls. Has anybody ever done that? You climb the waterfall in Jamaica. And it's this bizarre thing because it looks really steep and like no big deal all at the same time. And I'm not really sure how that's possible, but that's really how it felt. And you look at it and you're like, all right, well, we're going to climb that. It didn't look so massive that it was daunting, but you could kind of tell like there were guides and there were like certain places you had to be and you had to hold hands and, you know, like you had to rely on the people before you and after you to get up this waterfall. So, and frankly, there's like no OSHA regulations in Jamaica. So you really like your life was in your hands kind of thing. But it was this incredible experience and this beautiful coming together of people helping each other. Because there were parts of it where the water was rushing and you had to cross over it and there was nothing to hold on to except the person ahead of you and the person behind you. And the only advantage the person ahead of you had was that they had a person ahead of them who was standing on solid rock that didn't have water rushing over it. So the person on solid rock is reaching back and holding the hand of the person who's got water rushing over their rocks. And they're holding your hand who has more water rushing over your rocks. And you're holding the person behind you who's just entering the water. And as you go, you then become the person who's standing on the rock with no water rushing over it, reaching back to hold the hands of the person who's in an unsteady position. And that's all they need. They don't need you to be at the top. They don't even need you to understand how far away you are from the top. They don't need you to know what the next obstacle is. They don't need you to know how many people are ahead of you or how far away you are from the summit of this waterfall or how long it's going to take you to climb or how wet you're going to get. The answer is very, you know, like they don't need you to know that. They just need you to hold their hand while they step out of this rushing water. That's it. That is all they need. You do not need to be an expert mountain climber. You do not need to be prepared to lead this mission. You do not need to be a guide. You do not need to know how many people do this journey every year. None of that. All you have to do is hold the hand of the person behind you who's in the rushing water when your feet are on steady ground. And they don't even have to be on that steady ground because you've got the person ahead of you holding your hand. Right? And I think we get caught up in this idea that like, okay, she said I have to have a mission. Oh, what's my mission? All right, I got to figure out my mission and I got to figure all of this. And oh my gosh, I'm doing this program, but then there's this other program that comes out. I don't really understand that one. So I have to do that one before I can invite to this. And guys, no. You can't get caught up in having the perfect mission and team name and all of that before you invite to your team. Because guess what? You can't have an elite team until you invite to your team. You can't have a diamond team until you invite to your team. You can't have a team with a successful amount of income coming in until you invite to your team. Your future team does not need you to be perfect. So I saw, again, Kelly posted it in our group, and we can post it. We can share it with Steph so she can post it with you. It was a quote from Chalene Johnson, actually. And then the idea behind it was, look, are you working out? Then invite people to work out with you. You know what? I do 2B mindset. So guess what? Almost everyone in my challenge group does 2B mindset. There are only a couple people in my group who do ultimate portion fix. Not because I don't think it's good, not because it doesn't work, and not because 2B mindset is better. But it's because it's what I like and it's what I share about and it's what I attract people to. Same thing. I'm doing bar blend. I did morning meltdown 100. Now I'm doing bar blend. I've not done a single second of the work. Not because it's bad, not because if somebody saw it on TV and they wanted to do it, I would turn them down, but because I'm not sharing about that, because it's not what I'm doing. And that's okay. Because the person who's like really committed to that is going to find the coach who's really committed to that and be with them, and that person's going to serve them really well. And it's not going to affect my business at all. Because literally in January, I'm drawing twice the income that I was drawing last year. My income has doubled since last January. And it's okay if somebody who really wants to do a program I'm not doing, they can come and do it with me, but they're not going to see me posting about it and getting all excited about it because that's not my journey. That's not the place I am in the waterfall. All I'm sharing about is what I'm doing. Are you working out? Invite someone to work out with you. Are you learning 2B mindset or ultimate portion fix? Invite someone to learn it with you. Are you checking into a challenge group? Invite someone to check in with you. That's all you're doing. But you have to share this gift because you guys, someone right now while we're on this call, someone is sitting on their couch with chips and Netflix having just given up on their resolutions. They're thinking, I failed again. See, I can't do it. This was going to be the year everything was changed and I didn't even make it a month. Someone you know is going to pass on intimacy with their husband tonight because they can't stand for him to see them without clothes on. Someone you know is eating her feelings tonight and doesn't feel worth the price of making a change. Someone you know is watching you, wishing that you would reach out to her, and when you don't, in her mind, that means you think she's not worth it. You know someone who's ready to change and all they need to be is asked. And you don't get to decide for them whether or not they want it. You don't get to decide for them whether or not they're ready. Let me ask you this. As I was talking, at any point tonight, what name danced through your head just for a second? Did you have a couple of people whose names popped into your head just for a fleeting second? Write them down right now. If you really want to make a change, share them in the chat. Whose name popped into your head while I was talking? Don't tell me no one, that's a lie. Whose name popped into your head as I was talking? Write it down, share it in the chat. Do not selfishly withhold their chance for change and building belief in themselves and breaking down a chain of feeling like a failure because you're too busy or too afraid to message them. But let me tell you, here's the real beauty in all of this. Regardless of what type or size of team you want to have, even if you're enjoying your discount and that's all you want to do, go Emerald. Create that passive income from cycling. Even if you only cycle one time every other month, and if you don't know what cycling is, watch the Michael video with all the toy characters and the superheroes and all the monsters and all that kind of stuff. It's a great video on cycling. You get to cycle when you become an Emerald coach. when you have 2 people under you, one on your right, one on your left. And ideally, that would be, you know, this one person who danced across your head. Frankly, about 5 people danced across your head when I was talking, and you should write them all down. But one of those people who danced across your head, and then like a spouse or a significant person in your life that you want to bless with an opportunity. And again, I'm not going to go into that, but at first it's like, why am I signing up my spouse and spending money to create a new account and keeping this person active? Like, how is that making me money? It does down the line. And I'm going to tell you now where we are now. My husband is an emerald and I am a diamond. And when we cycle twice on the same volume points, it is a beautiful thing. Because that $14 was $14 you didn't have before. And it feels in the moment like free money. And in the process of that, you're giving one other person the gift of this team. And then you're encouraging them to offer it to somebody as well. And I'm telling you, because you're not deciding for them, somebody down the line that you're exposing this opportunity to needs to create an income for their family. And you're giving them the chance. Even if that's not what you want, someone 2 down from you wants that. And you're creating that opportunity for them. I am building a full-time income from this business. That's the road we're on. That's the goal that I have and the vision that I have for my team. That's what I'm working on in the next, as long as it takes. Now, if I keep doubling my January income every year, we're going to get there real fast. Right? But it's an as long as it takes kind of thing. I'm doing the vital behaviors. I'm following the recipe. I'm inviting to my team. I invite to my team every single week. I'll admit I don't invite to my team every day because of the way that I do my invites, but that's a different call. But I invite to my team every week. And I'm super, super excited to hear the next piece of tonight's call because there's an incredible opportunity for you to give the people that you wrote down and more something, regardless of what your vision for your team is. Because this is bigger than you. This opportunity is bigger than you. And that's the other thing that you see when you get in the room is that this opportunity is bigger than just you, and you get to be part of it, which is incredible. Because this is the time to invite. If you think that everyone who wants to make a change in 2020 has already found what they're looking for, you're flat wrong. January is so full of hype, like I said at the beginning, and fake promise, because it's this artificial beginning of beginnings. It's truly just a date on the calendar, except it gets all of this hype and pressure, right? It's this fake promise, and people say what they think they're supposed to say in January and decide that they're going to be perfect and make all these changes and go cold turkey off of sugar and only have black coffee and live on water and ice chips. But by now, they've all crashed and burned, or they thought that's what they had to do and they never started. Now's the time that you get to show them this lifestyle change that you have. The hard work and the commitment over motivation and the love that our freaking amazing teams have to wrap around them on this journey. You're being served this silver platter opportunity to make a difference in someone else's life and grow that vision, change that opportunity, and reach back to that person who's one step behind you on the waterfall and makes it possible for them to get to the other side. Don't miss this opportunity. You need to, whoever it is that I just popped back I was looking at my notes, so I just popped back and I see the chat and I see all these names, and I can't wait to see the shout outs and the announcements of these exact same names on your team when you get to welcome them into your team page. And do me a favor, before, this is the last thing I'm going to say about it, before you invite that person, before you invite Mara and Bethany and John and Kimberly and Jimmy and Karen, before you invite those people, stop and imagine what it's going to be like to hug them at Summit. And imagine what it's going to be like to hear them say yes to this opportunity. And what it's going to be like to hear them tell you how excited they are about who they just invited to their team. because that's what your invitation is. It's the beginning of that next leg of legacy. All right, ladies, tell us what you got, because I'm so freaking excited. I already have people who are coming to it. I don't even know what it is, but I got like 3 or 4 people who are coming to it. So give us all the details.
I'm running on like no sleep in the last 5 days, and I'm doing like football feet down here and like legs. Like if y'all are at the retreat, you know, I had this problem where I couldn't stop like moving. But Steph's gonna go first, and then I'm gonna go second. So, girl, you wanna go?
I have to follow Sarah. This is like so hard.
I know, right? That was amazing, by the way. Awesome. Thank you so much, Sarah.
So good. So good. I'm gonna kick off by I'm gonna share something with you guys. When Kelly and I were chatting earlier, something that has been a constant reminder, and it's been something that has constantly come up in conversation, is this the concept of reaping and sowing. And I see some of y'all on here. If you know me, I don't have a green thumb. Like, I kill most things that I plant. I try, but here's the thing: if we are not constantly planting those seeds, there will never be a harvest. And the promise is that the latter rain is coming. The rain is coming. The abundance is coming. But if we are not preparing right now and we are not planting the seeds, when it comes, it's just going to be a wet mess. There's not going to be anything to harvest. And so Kelly and I were chatting about this, and I wanted to read something to you all that paints such a beautiful picture on what this process of inviting looks like, that's rooted in truth. Like, y'all, this is coming from scripture. And for my friends, like for any of us who's like, I don't understand this stuff, like I'm not super spiritual, can you lean in with me? I'm going to walk you through this, but I want this to paint a picture of how inviting, it's never going to be perfect. Not everyone's going to get it, and they're not supposed to, but the right person will. And that's where everything Sarah just talked about is going to be worth it. So if you have a Bible, or if you've got an app, or if not, jot this down and go back and reflect on it later. I'm reading, it's the parable of the farmer scattering seed. It's in Matthew 13, and there's a very similar one in Luke 8, but I'm going to read from Matthew. I just like that one better. So here's what it says. It says, "Listen, a farmer went out to plant some seeds. As he scattered them across the field, some seeds fell on a footpath, and the birds came and ate them." Let me stop right there. Y'all, there are going to be some conversations and some invites that we're going to throw out there, and the people that go MIA, the people that you see read your message, clearly they saw it, and they don't even have the courtesy to be like, "Hey babe, I saw that, let me get back to you." They just completely, like, it's over their head, right? This is going to happen. Verse 5 says, "Other seeds fell on shallow soil with underlying rock. The seeds sprouted quickly because the soil was shallow, but the plants soon wilted under the hot sun. Since they didn't have deep roots, they died." I'm going to stop right there. There are going to be some people that we invite, whether they're challengers, whether they're coaches, and they get really excited and they say, "Yes, I'm interested." And then we get excited because we know that they're excited. We know that they need this, but then they fall off the face of the earth. Coaches quit, right? It's happened to me. And it's going to happen to all of you too. Like, people quit, they fall off the face, they return a challenge pack, and we're like, "Dude, you were so excited. What happened?" But here's the thing, they weren't deeply planted. They were only focused on the surface. That was it. Either they weren't fully committed, they weren't willing to put in the work and be patient and give time to develop. So when life happens, they don't know how to navigate through that, you guys. And it's not a reflection of you being a bad coach or being a bad leader. It's just, it fell on shallow soil. That's all that happened, right? But here's what I love the promise, and I want you, if you are someone right now listening to this and you are feeling defeated, if you are feeling like, "Yeah, but Steph and Kelly and Sarah, like, y'all don't understand. I send invites out every day. I'm sending 5 invites out every day. I'm sending 10 invites out every day. No one's getting back to me. People are telling me no. I haven't yet gotten those people to stick." Here's the promise. Here's the promise for those who don't quit and keep planting anyway. Are you ready? Well, actually, I've got one more. I've got one more hiccup, and then I'm gonna bring it home. Hang on, I'm jumping ahead. I'm getting excited. All right. Other seeds fell among thorns that grew up and choked out the tender plants. Okay, y'all, the ones that grow up around thorns, maybe they genuinely want it. Like, this goes back to what I said before. They genuinely want it, and life suffocates them, or something happens, right? But here's the promise. I told y'all I'd get to it. Still, among all of that, yes, Sarah, I love that. Even the people who don't answer, they're still watching. Yes. Still, other seeds fell on fertile soil, and they produced a crop. Y'all ready? They produced a crop that was 30, 60, even 100 times as much as had been planted. Y'all, it's exactly what Sarah said. That one seed, that one invite. It's not even about that one person. It's about that ripple effect. All it takes is one. The right person, the right moment. You can give the wrong message to the right person and they gonna get it. But it is going to reap a harvest. It's truth. 30, 60, even 100 times as much has been planted. But here's the thing. If we stop planting seeds when the birds snatch it up, if we stop planting seeds when the fruit starts to die because it's not deeply planted, and if we stop planting seeds because we're like, well, it's getting suffocated, you know what I mean? You're never going to see the fruit. You have to keep planting. You have to keep planting. And so I want y'all to understand that everything that we're talking about, it's not just to go out and spam people. We do this very, very differently. And that's part of our mission. We want to be the anomaly in this business. There's a lot of people that have a bad rap, a bad perspective of network marketing and MLM. We're going to talk about this in a minute. Kelly's going to wrap up with this. But like, y'all, have you ever considered maybe it's because they learn from all the wrong people? Like, be the person that actually does this nobly and with integrity and with heart. You know what I mean? All right, Kelly. Your turn.
Okay. Y'all, it's rare that I don't have words. But I just have to pause for a minute because this is amazing, you know, and this is the fruit. Like, this is the fruit of, for me, 6.5 years of still planting. And like, the words I'm hearing tonight of Sarah speaking and then Steph speaking, and like at our retreat, for those that were able to come, like, literally, this is things that have been on my heart for years. And I have been the one who's said, Lord, why is this taking so long? And I had to shift to, I will be here as long as it takes. Not that you have to wait 6.5 years, because I think the benefit of the person ahead is that they get a little better at it. And so you get the benefit of their, like, what is it, your failure curve or whatever that, I'm not a math or whatever statistics person, but you know what I'm saying? Like, they get better at it. So it's like the learning curve. Thank you. You know? So after retreat, or actually even before retreat, Steph and I were talking about collaborating on doing a sneak peek into coaching webinars. We thought it would be amazing to team up with another team, another faith, like having a faith-based team, having that together, having more stories, having more variety, because there's so many different backgrounds and things. And we were really excited about it. And then we were talking after retreat, and she had this idea of this like growth track, because we want people when they're coming into the business to have the idea that they have gifts and talents that are welcomed onto this team and that are needed because they're unique in their purpose and they're unique in their gifts and they're unique. And so we were trying to figure out, how do we do that? Because we don't want to have like 4 sneak peek in a row, but we don't know how to do this. But it was good. You know what I mean? So we're like, how are we going to do this? And literally, I think it was like the next day I was on Instagram watching a coach, because I know they're like, don't watch other coaches, but I follow a few that inspire me. And Courtney Bell, who inspires me, and then Patrice Buller both in the same day post that they're doing this. And I was like, oh my gosh. And so I texted her and I was like, I got something really cool to tell you. It's going to blow your mind. It's all coming together, and it's God. Like, it's God. Like, it is. And it's, there's no other explanation for it to me. And it's what we're doing. So we have done sneak peeks in the past. We have done groups. We have done webinars. We are doing a faith and fitness coach workshop. You can call it like an internship. You can call it a mentorship. We're calling it a workshop. We're calling it a faith and fitness coach workshop. It is a chance for you to invite people to join us for a week and do the things we do as a coach. So this is different. We're not coming in trying to overcome objections. We're coming in trying to fortify and instill belief that you really can do this. It's simple, and this is what we do. So I'm just going to give you a quick overview of things that we put together so you understand it, and then you're just going to have to trust us because we're working it all out. Y'all, it has been nuts. Like, I have a bazillion kids and they're all sick with the flu, but I am here standing, and some reason I'm not sick. And so I'm standing and I'm like, I feel like the Elton John song, like, I'm still standing even though I can't play piano. So like, I'm just so excited. Courtney's probably like, be quiet, you're like the kids. But anyway, we're going to cover a couple things. You're going to join the group. We're going to drop the link for the group tonight. You can join it right away. The only thing we ask is this. You need to be inviting to the group. If you want to be in the group, you have to participate in the group. There is nothing worse. Can you imagine this? Like, I don't know. Sometimes my analogies work, sometimes they don't, but I thought this one was clever. If you had like a party and you're inviting people over to like present something to them or give them a gift, and they all sat in your den and no one talked and everyone stared at them. That's what it's like when you invite someone into a Facebook group and no one's participating. It's like, why are all these eyes on me and I'm the only one doing anything? We have to have energy. It has to be like, put your best foot forward energy, because people who join this group are stepping further out of their comfort zone than we are sending an invite, right? So if you're going to join the group, that's fine. Even if you're like, well, I just want to check it out and then I'll invite next month, that's fine, but you need to participate. So please promise that. And honestly, if you participate, you might learn something, because some of these posts are going to give us through the vital activities that we do as a coach. So I'm just going to do a brief little overview. We're going to have, you can start adding people on Friday and welcoming them. Saturday will be a little post that'll explain how the group works. We're going to provide the 5 sample workouts. So they're going to be working out. Unless they're a challenger of yours, they can do the program they're doing. We're going to provide a meal plan so they can meal plan for the week, because as coaches, they need to be products of the product. And then every day there will be a topic in the morning of a teaching with a task. And then in the afternoon, there will be a training on how we do it. So it's not like a objection overcoming. It's like an invite training, teaching them how we invite, because there's no icky. I think sometimes I used to be kind of like worried that if I told them what I did, they would think it was weird and run. But if they sign up, I'm going to have to tell them. So why not tell them comfortably, like, this is what we do? Because how many times do people come through sneak peeks, they get really excited, they sign up, and then they don't take action? And I think part of it is the soil, and then part of it's because they're nervous. If they get a chance to try it, it gives them confidence in their capability. So I'm going to do the overview. Day 1 is sharing is selling, so sharing with a mission. Day 2 is adding to your network, connecting people to your mission. Day 3 is inviting, engaging people with the mission and tapping them into your purpose. So if you can see, we're weaving the stuff Steph had with like skills and tracks into the vitals, which is why we were like, Day 4, how we run challenge groups and coach others, which is on leadership. And day 5, which this one we actually added, which is kind of cool, making the most of no. We're going to talk about how you overcome being rejected, and the importance of personal development. So every day they're going to have like a little task with that lesson. And then in the evening or the afternoon, whenever a couple coaches are helping us to lead, we'll do a little training teaching like what that means, so that they get an understanding of the mission of our team and the purpose of all this. Day 6, which is Saturday, we're going to invite everyone to a group workout. We're going to invite our challengers to a group workout. I hope we have a lot of people show up on a Zoom, because it'd be really fun for us all to work out together. And then we're going to do a Q&A and talk about any questions they have. So we'll have like a question post go up on Friday and say, post questions you have, and we will answer questions and explain how they can get started. You know, we'll make sure they know, like, if you've done all this week and you still want to be a part of it, but you're not quite sure about the business side yet, that's okay too. Here's option 1. Here's option 2. But the nice thing is they know what everything is. Before, they knew everything because we told them everything, but now they're actually trying it. We're going to have a contest for everyone who does the tasks. There'll be points associated to it, and we'll do a prize drawing for an Amazon gift card for them to buy some coach, like workout swag, or whatever they decide. And so we are excited. Like, our plan is, there are also, just FYI, 3 units when you go in that are already there that answer the questions from the beginning of what is a coach, how do coaches make money, and how do coaches get started. So when we do the closing video, we'll refer those posts that have all the details, but they can look at them at any point in time. So that way it's just very open. I'm excited, y'all. This is something we want to do. We're going to do it this time. We're going to do it more than once. We're going to learn from it. We'll have different leaders that will help us to lead on the different topics. The last thing I'll hit on is, like, who do you invite to this? Everyone. The names that Sarah said popped into your head, even if you've asked them before, because out of all the ones I wrote down, there were 7 of them, because I kept thinking of people. A lot of them I've invited before, but this time I can say, I know you were really nervous about being present on social media and what I do. So we decided to make a workshop instead for our coaching sneak peek. And I'd love you to come and try what I do for a week, completely free, so you can see how it's not doing it the way I do it, but how you do it and the value you have to give. Speak to their objection in your invite. Ask your challengers. Ask your coaches who are VIP coaches who have never worked the business. Maybe you've thought about it, but you've been nervous. This would be a great test drive for you to do the business side. You know what I mean? Ask coaches who maybe fell away. Maybe those coaches who got choked up, or with the analogies of what Steph said, they fell away. I think that there's value in always telling people the door is always open for you to come back. I've had coaches that have come back and it was their season when they came back. You know, and I think that speaks to, as long as it takes, like, we're willing to wait as long as it takes, but at the same time, we're also pursuing our mission and vision, because I love what Sarah said about how the ripples keep going. Like, I have been guilty of recruiting, pause, pour into my team. But if I stop doing the recruiting and I stop bringing people in and I'm just pouring, the pouring starts to turn into hovering and you start to kind of get nervous about your abilities and your axe gets dull, you know? And so I want to encourage you, if you've ever been in that season, or maybe like life hit me and my family in a lot of ways last year, and it was a good year, but not as productive as I would have liked it to be. So there are some ways I am having to sharpen my axe. There's no shame in that, but I'm excited about this because it's fresh and new. Talk to people that you've talked to in the past. Talk to people who are talking to you now. People who say not right now, write them down. You can invite them in February. One thing too that, you know, you need to talk to your, like, depending on your teams, but some of the things we'll be encouraging them to do, and this is the last thing I'll say, is like, one of the days so we got a copy of the program that Courtney used and we modified it. And something that they did is they actually had them invite to a free challenge, but we all kind of have a calendar planned out already, and that would have thrown a big hiccup in the process. So one of the days it says, what are the things that excite you that you could run a free group about to draw people in from your niche? And so when you have whoever you have, encourage them in that, because that's going to be a way for you to empower them in their gifts, and they can see value they're adding to us, because they're probably going to say stuff we don't even know. So that's kind of the who, what, when, where, and how. I want to look and see if does anybody have any questions? You can unmute. Do you have anything, Steph? I think the key, and is don't be afraid of speaking to their objection and how this is a way you want to serve them to not let that hold them back. It's not wrong to speak against someone's objection. You're not correcting them if you say it the right way. You know what I mean? We'll share some invites examples on the team page too. So if anyone has sent invites, please share. Yes, Rebecca, that's awesome. Free groups can be simple. And I think it's just, I think this will give people a taste, because we're covering the vitals of personal development, being a product of the product, how to connect with people, how to invite, you know, and how to serve. So, well, that's awesome. I don't think anybody has any questions. Anybody excited? I'm excited. I feel like I should do a Josh Coates and say spirit fingers. Doesn't he make people do jazz hands? I can't even say his name. Josh Couch, whatever. Coates. I'm really excited, you guys. Can you tell? I can't talk. If you have, you know, I'll have this recording up. I'll upload it right after I hop off so I can share it, because that way you can share it, and then we'll drop the group link tonight so you can request to join. And this is something that we want to keep doing and trying something new. I think it's exciting. I think it's fresh and new. And also that we get to put our own little spin on it. So yeah, me too, Angie. I've been asking people, you know, you've thought about this and haven't done it before. Would you like to? The coaches already have. And because I think it's a great way to ease into things. Oh, there you go. There's the group. And shout out, Steph made an amazing header. It's so pretty. She's really good with graphics. It was super fun. But I want to give thanks to you guys. Oh, that's exciting. Yay. Way to go, Allison. I want to give thanks to you guys for being here tonight. Thank you, Steph. I'm so excited about leaning in. Gosh, just good stuff. Like, good stuff. Like the analogy Sarah was talking about, and I joked that I need to come up with a football analogy, because if there's ever a dude, they're going to be like, all they talk about is like diapers and birth. But it's not. It's just my state in life right now. But it's just that, you know, when you're there's different seasons in childbirth. And if you're at a point where you're pushing and pushing and pushing, the more pauses you take, the longer it takes. And so don't be afraid to lean into the pain, because it's normally towards the end when the good stuff is coming, the baby, and your vision. And I loved all the ways that you shared tonight, Sarah, about the purpose of building a team and the beauty behind it. So, all right, let's pray, and then we will hop off. Do you want me to do that part, or do you want to pray, Steph? Because you were like nailing the word. And again, no, okay, I'll do it. Heavenly Father, we are so, Lord, can you tell we're excited? I am so thankful, God. You are such a good Father. This is an amazing team. I am so grateful for Steph and her team and our sisterhood and friendship. I'm thankful for Sarah and the words she spoke tonight. Lord, I'm thankful for the women and the men who are going to join this workshop. I'm thankful for those that are going to be joining our team, for the seeds that we are planting, for the harvest that is coming, for the rain you are sending. This is the year, Lord. This is the year of the bamboo. I'm going to continue to declare it and stand on that promise, Lord, that you are going to shoot this team to grow, not for our ego or our pride, but for your purpose, to be a light, to be the anomaly, to do this the noble way, to do this the narrow way, to do this your way, Lord, and to trust that we can really make an impact in the lives of men and women and families. And God, I just pray that you would lay on our hearts tonight and tomorrow 10 people to invite, and that you would prepare their hearts to receive that invitation, that you would help this group to really just go smoothly, and that when there are hiccups and little mistakes that happen along the way, we learn from them, we laugh at them, and it shows those that are in there we're human beings and no one has to be perfect to be a coach. God, I'm so grateful for all the good things you are doing, for all of the good things you have done, for the teams that we have right now, for the wonderful challengers that we get to serve. It is all a gift. And we just declare, Lord, this is our year to lean into you in a more powerful way so that your light can shine through us. And we give you thanks, Lord, and all the good things that you do. And we ask that you bless our efforts, that you multiply our little, Lord, to make it enough, that you help us to have the focus to pour into our first vocations with our work and our families, and that that overflow of that joy flows into our business and shines and inspires those that watch our journey and that we talk to every day. And we pray all of these things in your most holy name. Amen. All right, everybody, we should take a picture. We should take a picture. I think we lost a few people. Sorry, I'm a rambler when I get excited. All right, 1, 2, 3, smile. Yay. Okay, I will get this up soon so we can get excited. Yay. Have a good night, everybody.